Hey, this is lifetime Cowboys fan Jim Saxton with Jim Saxton State Farm. You want insurance knowledge and old school service? Give us a call.
You know, Texas boys like myself, we love the heat. We're built for this. We're equipped for this. But there are times when you're envious of others, like Michael Coleman, my mentor for life. He's in a tent in California, Cowboys Camp. And please share with the fine folks who may be living in the state of Texas, where it's average about 105 degrees, what you're dealing with there.
It might. I think I went and got a sandwich run. It was like 72 degrees.
Oh, come on, man.
For sure. And yeah, so I'm spoiled,
Rotten,
to say the least.
Spoiled, rotten. Cowboys Camp, and remind me which number Cowboys Camp is this for you? Because you are the veteran.
I was at the last Cowboy Camp in Thousand Oaks when I was in Austin. That would have been 80. That would have been just when Jerry had just bought the team. So I did Thousand Oaks with Coach Landry.
Oh, beautiful.
And then with Jimmy Johnson. So I think I did the last 3 years of Cowboys Camp in Thousand Oaks. I think 89 was the last time I did. So 89, probably 88. 88 through I left Texas, so 1988 through let's say 1996. So whatever that number is. And then I came back 5 years ago. So you tack on that, probably about 20 years, close to 20 years worth.
That's amazing.
At least.
You've seen a lot, but one thing that doesn't change, and it's all nice and show. It's Hollywood-like with the Dallas Cowboys. And usually that first day is the State of the Cowboys address.
That's what we talked about, yep.
So Jerry likes to talk. Jerry loves him some him. We love hearing Jerry speak. MC, man, you have an in with Jerry Jones, but as far as the State of the Cowboys, I'm going to go ahead and say this is an unpopular opinion. I thought last year was a great year. I did. Considering all that was going on, you're always going to have the criticism of QB1.
Yes.
But great year, but as we move in and we're going to unbundle acquisitions, franchise tags, whatnot, but how do you sum up the State of the Union being the Dallas Cowboys today?
I think it was an honest, opening presser for Jerry. Someone brought up the fact about it, that sense of urgency. He says it's urgent only because I know what kind of team we have.
Yeah.
You know, I know what we were able to do because, you know, they've had back-to-back playoff years. And it's just a matter of getting over that hump. And you know, the thing is, if everybody could be good and just go to the big game, you know, as a team, everybody would do it. I mean, but you know, hey, the Kansas City Chiefs, they had winning teams when I was there, but they didn't have the team they have now. You know, and that goes to what McCarthy was talking about. It's all about the personnel that you have. Correct. It's all about the personnel you have. He said, we had a great camp last year. Now let's see if we can go up another level of camp. And, you know, so naturally thinking if you can go to another level of camp, why can't you go to another level of play, you know, for when the regular season kicks in? And, you know, they just signed Trayvon to a big-time deal. A huge deal. And I think stability is the key for this team, for this squad. I think Jerry had said something about, like, it wasn't a dig at them, but he made the reference to Zeke and Kellen Moore and other people. He said, we've had great people come through here. And it was something to the fact of the testimony of how good we are and how good we can be. Look who's not here now. And I think what he was saying is they were good, but now they're gone because we have prospered. We think we can prosper without them, with the people we have now. And like I said, it wasn't a slight at anybody. Right. It was like, you know, when you want to improve something, sometimes you get rid of what's good.
That's so true.
You know,
I mean, that's corporate America at its finest, and it's the most valuable sports franchise in the world, arguably.
Oh yeah.
You've got to make some major moves. By the way, these would not be possible without a friend of both of ours, Jim Saxton.
Jim.
State Farm Insurance Agency, son of a Heisman runner-up, and Longhorn legacy, and still doing his thing here in Austin, Central Texas, and he does it the right way, makes me feel like family. The big talk, and reportedly, a lot of the big-time running backs in the NFL have gotten, met behind closed doors or by email or text exchange, a possible Zoom meeting. You're a former running back, and I know it's not a slight on running backs because it's the market value. How do you explain that? And then we'll transition to Tony Pollard and his franchise tag had a nice deal come through.
Well, I think for those of us who've watched football a good portion of our lives and saw the Earl Campbells, the Tony Dorsetts, the O.J. Simpsons, the Gale Sayers, the Jim Browns, and see the names just roll off your lip or your mouth. We came from that system of running backs dominating the football scene.
Yeah.
And if you had an adequate quarterback, you can win a lot of games. But if you had a really good running back like an Earl or a Tony Dorsett, well, let me back up. Even if you got an Earl, you can't get to the Super Bowl, but you get close, And I think it's a shock to our system, to whatever the football system is in us, and Josh Jacobs led the league in rushing, and he's not signed by anybody, And I just
Comical.
think, it is comical. But you know what? We got a chance, Arthur and I did, to catch up with Stephen Jones, and I said to him, well, first of all, because I don't like the word devalue.
No.
It's kind of like defund the police, and that's not a good slogan at all to get your point across. I think it's just less utilization. It's not devalued, because if you're a cold weather team and you're playing outdoors in December and January, guess what? You got some timid receivers who are going, it's cold.
Let's run the rock.
Let's just run the ball. Let's just jam it down their throats. And so the game has shifted from being a dominant run game to being a dominant passing game. That's why you get running back like a Dalvin Cook, guys like him that can catch the ball in open space and do stuff. Receivers don't get beat up as much as running backs do. There's a lot of factors. Kansas City Chiefs don't help matters any by starting a 7th-round draft pick running back in the Super Bowl and winning, And so, and it's like I said to Stephen Jones, I said, that the quarterback position has evolved. He said, yeah, but all the positions have evolved. So does that mean that the running back position has devolved? And so it's like, it's a case where, as Jerry said, ain't no free lunch. Ain't no free lunch. And so you chose this profession. And, and I know those running backs, I know Saquon Barkley just signed.
Yeah.
These running backs all got together, have a meeting, because there's nothing they're going to be able to do, that the owners are going to say, okay, we're going to do that. That's not happening. So I don't know what that meeting was about, but I like to think that meeting would have been about, hey, listen, we're stuck. Just go out and be who you are, play the game that you got inside of you, and see what happens. And that's, can't change. It's too late to change positions. Unless you can run backwards, you ain't playing no defensive back, So I think what you're going to see is college players, high school players. Like, for instance, perfect example. We had a kid, Longview, you've heard of him, who decided to go to Oklahoma and not USC, the running back, Taylor Tatum. He's also going to play baseball. And like I said in my piece a few nights ago, I said, if this running back situation doesn't work its way out, a guy like him, because I'll play baseball. And that's how you solve that issue. But a lot of guys today, they this is what they know. And it's hard. I don't know. Maybe it's hard to walk away from $10.1 million. I'm just saying, how much money do you need? No one's saying you're not worth it. They're just saying the market's not seeing what you're seeing.
Not today.
Not today. And you just have to go with that. I'm pretty sure Terry Bradshaw was complaining about Franco and Rocky Blyer getting a whole lot of money. You know, I'm the quarterback. I touch the ball as much as the center does, but more than the running backs do. But they played it. They played it. You know, and I think that's just the way it's going to be. And you win a Super Bowl, that the running backs on that team ain't worried about getting paid.
No.
Get to a Super Bowl. That's all. But no one's going to worry about that.
And you know, I'll be honest with you. I didn't really believe we'd ever see the day in which the NFL, like the college game, has evolved to spreading people out and getting people in space. And, you know, Tony Pollard out of Memphis, I honestly feel like he brings a new meaning to quick twitch.
Oh, no.
And
He
Jerry,
does.
they put the franchise tag on him. And this is Jerry talking about today, and you can elaborate on it after Jerry talks about it. You know, I'm not going to read between the lines, but Jerry did comment about coming to an agreement with Pollard.
It's a distribution process. If one player gets $1, the other one doesn't get it. And so you distribute it as best you can. And in this particular case, I think it worked well for Tony. That's a lot of money. And I think it's going to help make it work for us to put this team together this year.
It's going to have to work. There's no choice. I mean, Tony's not going to go out there and fall flat. You know, now I do wonder how healed is he from a broken leg. You know, I mean, the timing sucks for him in terms of getting the deal he got. I mean, who's to say he couldn't have got 12.2 without the injury? You know, and maybe the Cowboys go a little further. You know, I mean, after they're playing the eventual NFC West runner-up, or NFC runner-up, you know, who's to say that if he doesn't get banged up, taken out, they couldn't do more damage. And so, so now like they added Deuce Vaughn, who I think is going to be a terrific addition. Great addition. Deuce Vaughn is going to be the guy to move those chains fast. He's, as you know, he's not a double-digit ball carrying running back. You know, and he doesn't have to be. And you see, and that's the key. If you can put together an offense with a steady running back with a steady flow, like a Tony Pollard, like Pollard was to Zeke.
Yeah.
But I think Deuce is going to be a much more explosive counter punch to Pollard in terms of running that rock. You know, because he can get you anywhere. Do you see Deuce part of the kick return game? Well, he and Turpin and what's they signed? Who else ran it back last year?
All I remember is Turpin. Turpin's a good change. I mean, that kid's quick. Why am I drawing blanks?
And he came at the end of camp, but he played more ball than anybody on this team, anybody else in the league, because he played in 2 leagues. I mean, that's something to be said. No, I definitely see him returning kicks. There's no way in the world he wouldn't return kicks. And you know, you need a jump start on your offense. Don't let Dak have to go 75 yards. You know, see if he can just have to go 50. Yeah. You know, you're asking a whole lot, but Deuce can do that. And I think once teams get used to seeing him on tape, they'll have a better idea of how to cover those lanes.
Yeah.
To prevent him. But right now, I think at least the first two games, I wouldn't even play him in the preseason. I don't want y'all to see him. I wouldn't even play him. Yeah, we'll wait to unload the ammo when the regular season starts. And that's what I would do if I was there.
He's about my height, maybe a little shorter. Hey, by the way, we'd be remiss if we didn't say happy birthday to his dad, Chris Vaughn.
Oh, okay.
47 today, looking like he's 27.
Yeah, I've seen those. I've seen those dads. Man, you should be playing with your son.
The genetics are good in that Vaughn family. Man, hey, the gene pool's not bad with the Colemans either. I'm just going to tell you. Try and get it bottled up, man, so I can sell it. So I'm working on it. On it. Your guy McCarthy, he was talking about some of those acquisitions you just rattled off, and they had a good offseason, I thought.
Yeah, they did.
But basically what he said is this the Dallas Cowboys and expectations, regardless of how young an individual is, expectations remain the same. And it's that big silver trophy.
We love what we accomplished in player acquisition throughout the spring, and more importantly, now that these guys have been here, the way they fit in. I can't say enough about Brandon and Gilmore. The way I'm just visiting with those guys yesterday. So it's the consistency is, if you want to bang the door down, you got to be on the front porch, every single time. So I think we definitely have established that, and it's about winning the championship. And I don't shy away from that at all. And everybody today should feel that they can win the championship. They may not talk about it.
Yeah, because if they talk about it, they'll get hammered by the Foxes and the ESPNs of the world. But which is wrong. I like his bravado. He's a tough guy. I'm wishing all the success in the world for him this season. And, it's funny because I made a connection with him last year.
That's right. I remember that.
His daughter went to KU. I grew up in Lawrence. And so I try to reestablish again that, who we are. I'm pretty sure he'll get back to calling me Mr. Jayhawk. Hey, Jayhawk, what's going on?
It's, down here in Austin, the pride of ARP, Texas, DeMarvion Overshone. That guy, I'm going to tell you something. He is really just a good guy. He showed us that he can sing some country music. Pulled up that mic, and what's that musician's name? Josh Turner.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
And so DeMarvion is just a good human being that can play.
See, I didn't know he could sing country.
I didn't either. So I saw that.
I think we're gonna get a chance to get with him one-on-one. I'm gonna say, dude, give me a few bars. Come on, man. Let's see what you got.
Oh my God. I will Venmo you money for that one. So, he comes from a part of East Texas where products out of ARP, that area, they're just different.
Yeah.
Play football, the East Texas mentality, the East Texas product.
Yeah.
But what's his role, do you think, as a rookie?
I think he's going to see some snaps. He can cover. He's played high brand of ball at the University of Texas. He's versatile. He's such a big guy, and he's fast. I mean, the cat can run like a deer. So how do you keep a guy like that? How do you not let a guy like that get reps? And so I think you're going to see some different packages specifically for him when the opposition's like, well, who the hell is this guy? And they're not going to know what to do with him when he's on defense. And I think he's going to surprise some people.
Is he one of those guys that has to, prove himself a little bit on special teams?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, he'll go out and do well on special teams, but I don't think he has to prove himself on special teams. He's going to prove himself right out here on this field, what he can do, because he's playing against pro players. And, they're his teammates, but they put him on the scout team. It's like when Tony Romo was here. Tony Romo was on the scout team for a long time, and Tony Romo became the man. And that's where you make your bones. You make your bones right here at training camp. And I think he's going to do a good job of just that.
Man, I agree with that. You know what? We love positivity, and that's how we like to end things.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
Company of Michael Coleman. It's always good. It's always positive. But at this very moment, this is that transition to which it's slow. But Cowboys training camp, NFL training camp, soon we'll have the colleges, football, they'll start reporting soon. But tell me something good going on in your world and maybe about Cowboys camp that really puts a good vibe out from the MC.
I think what's going on good here is the enthusiasm I'm seeing from McCarthy. Now, you can't really tell he's enthused. He'll tell you he is, but it's like, well, do something. Show me that you're excited. He's not a walking exclamation mark. That's not what he does. But when he praises the rookie class, he's like, this is the best rookie class we've had in 4 years. We got a lot of good guys that can play. And I think that speaks highly of the homework. They did their homework. They did their homework. And we saw how well they played last year. And teams are getting younger and younger. Teams are finding out they can win with younger players You know, this is not the old days where you got to wait on the bench for 2 years, a la quarterback. I mean, you know, these quarterbacks start right off the bat, that whole bit. And I just think with this youth movement, the Cowboys can infuse, it's going to make a difference. It's going to make a difference. If you put a speedy rookie against an aging but Hall of Fame-like linebacker, hey, Hall of Fame linebackers lose their grip too. They lose their speed, you know, and I think Kansas City's done a really good job of the blueprint for young players. You know, we want to keep you, but we can't keep you for the price you want. But we'll keep you, but it's going to have to be at a discount. And your name, unless your name is Patrick Mahomes, that's a whole different ballgame. So I think that's what applies here to most teams is don't be so quick to cut somebody because they want more money. Compromise. Find a way, because if that player is still talented, you'll find a way to let them stick around.
Evolve, and what Jerry mentioned, evolution. I mean, just distribution of the money, the salary cap. That's beautiful, man. MC, we're going to check back in with you in a couple of days. We're going to have some fun with this.
Appreciate it.
Man, so you and Arthur, man, you guys enjoy SoCal, and I know you will because you got the right shades on. You got the right attitude. I feel it. You guys know how to live and live life right. So for MC and the OG Man Cave boys, that being Hardball Hards, Big Mike, and Coach Mo, we out.